following podcast contains possibly triggering material and strong language. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Ride the Rebellion podcast and Craft Show Digital. The material and information presented here is for general information and entertainment purposes only.
Hello, this is the Ride the Rebellion. I was trying something new. It's a new intro. Hello, this is the... Stop. All right, take three. Beep, beep. In case you guys know, that's what happens. There's a beep, beep sound. That's the audio guy telling the editor new take.
Was that the William Shatner entrance?
Hey, don't fuck with Shat. Right off the gate. Demonetized on YouTube based on this conversation. Hello, this is the Ride the Rebellion podcast. Why does this sound like an answering machine? Here's the show. With me, as always, is King of the South Alabama. If you're William Shat, the turd down.
Yeah.
Dale Boyd of Dale Boyd Loose Rock Management.
Loose rock management. Actually, I wish we had some loose rocks right about now. We've been building pretty heavy out there. It'd be great to have some rocks to throw in there.
It'd be great to have anything else to throw in there.
Other than sand particles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
some bodies.
Well, that's what I was thinking, the other day. So if those of you who haven't seen the videos, please go to our social medias and give us a follow and check them out. But cheap plug, shameless.
Shameless.
Because I'm shameless.
Yeah.
You probably don't know that song, do you?
I don't know that song.
It's a Garth Brooks song.
I know lots of Girth Brooks songs. They got a lot of uhs and grunts in them.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm feeling zingy because I've had client issues all day. So
yeah,
you know what? Whatever.
This
Burn
is
it all down.
This is the cool. I've heard that. I've heard that from leadership before. Burn it down and pick the trees you want to build back. No, we burn them all down. We can't bring them back.
You can't bring them back. You just burn them down. You know what? We'll build a new forest in 30 or 60 years.
Yeah, just wait, man. Just carry the drum beat. I've heard this. This is a real conversation I've had with leadership.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
But no, back to the building out there. Just Friday, we had a group building. We built some new stuff. I built a tabletop, and I was like, guys, if anybody actually just took pictures or like drove by, we just took a roll up carpet. We dug a big coffin size hole.
Yeah. And
now there's a hump. And so like I was making jokes, like in the north where I'm from, there's tons of Indian mounds. And like no one knows they're serpentine shape and stuff. And I was like, guys, we just literally built an Indian mound.
Yeah.
Like that in 100 years, they're gonna be like, what is this?
No. And in 6 weeks, it'll be like eroded from the sand mix out.
Oh, that happened. Somebody jumped it early before it was all packed and their tire just disintegrated. And I was like, dude, you're literally the fat kid that walks on the beach and kicks people's sandcastles over, aren't you?
Yeah. Because
that's what it is. It's a sandcastle until it gets carpeted.
That's what we should change the name of that trailhead to, is just Sandcastle.
The whole place.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Just call the whole place.
That's why the original name was pretty dope.
Yeah. We can't say it though.
No. But you know what it is.
It had Beach Club in it.
Yeah, you knew. I was making sure.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah.
Of course you knew.
I came up with it.
Right. Of course
I'm a branding expert.
And then
No,
Pat made some other things on it with the community center.
Yeah, he took it to another level, as Pat does.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I don't have a ton. I'm going to say a few things.
Okay. I got a couple things too.
Okay. You want to go first?
Nah, because it's more like cheesy mountain bike stuff.
No, I have like a pretty serious story at some point.
That's why I was going to.
Well, the first thing I want to say is like, and it leads into my story, but I spent 2 days at Boca Chico. It wasn't there for riding. We were there working on a documentary, but we got a little riding in. It was fun to watch Matt attempt some other trails, and you're just reminded very quickly how far you've come.
Correct. Yeah.
From where you were to where you are. You're like, you're gassed on that? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being mean, but like I was too back when I remember like riding Chickasaw on a hardtail. Matt's on a hardtail. I remember riding Chickasaw on a hardtail and being like, God, why would I do this to myself? My taint all destroyed. And before I got my calluses down there, it was just a terrible situation. And then like over time, I was like, oh, I'll get a proper seat. And then I got a fitted seat. And then I was like, oh, this made a difference. And then I stopped wearing the diapers.
That I had to stop those things.
I just can't. I don't like the feel of it. I mean, when I'm 80, I'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
But for right now,
Well, actually, when I'm 80, I'm not wearing pants. So
I think it's fair.
I mean, I've thought about this for a long time. Like, what age do you become that like, oh man, he's just old. Don't worry about him.
I don't know.
Like
80 seems pretty.
You can say what you want. Yeah, like
I think you kind of like as you age, you start leaning more and more towards that,
true.
and then
you
by the
test
time,
it on your kids.
Yeah. That's the testing ground, and then you're like, beta's done, full launch. It's launch day, bitches.
Woo!
Yeah, pants come tearaways. I had a friend, and I think he's really going to do it. He's ex-military, and his whole thing, he just goes by Mosul. His whole thing was that when he turns, I think he said 85. He's gonna, because he has some piloting skills, so he is literally going to just fly a plane around the Bermuda Triangle just to see what happens. And if he dies, he dies. If he doesn't, then he's going to come back and do heroin until he's dead. That's his actual. I was like, he's like, who's going to get mad at me? I'm 85 shooting up heroin.
Fair, it's fair.
And you would probably go out blissfully. I've never done heroin. I hear it's blissful. I don't know, dude. I think you just go to sleep.
That's the problem. At least do coke, stay awake and fuck some stuff up for a few days.
I don't think, dude, at 85 years old,
your heart's probably going to explode.
You're going to, you do a bump of coke and it's game over.
I'm training right now for it. People ask me why I'm running. I'm running so I can do a ton of coke when I'm 90. Preparing my heart.
I think it's great.
That's a good idea.
Bogue Chitto was interesting. And my biggest takeaway from the entire Bogue Chitto scenario was, everyone there rides an e-bike, except for John. Shout out John, my boy John. That dude, and what he was challenged with was following. In this case, we had a bunch of adaptive riders, also e-bikes, essentially. Yeah. A lot of them were, and he's following adaptive who are ripping. Yeah. By the way, they rip because they're just like, oh, we're in trail mode, turbo, and by the way, when those individuals enter their bikes, it is quite literally like watching a pilot do a checklist pre-takeoff, and then they're like on an aircraft carrier. They just shoot out. They're just gone, and they're just blazing along. But like literally, they're flipping switches. There's gadgets everywhere. They're connecting all these things, like whether they're hand driven or leg driven, whatever it is. But the adaptive riders are hooking all this stuff up. And I kept telling him, I was like, dude, this is like watching, like, seriously, fighter pilots. They're literally locked into this. That's what it needs.
Yeah.
And then they just explode out, and then they're just blazing trail.
Yeah.
Like, it's just absolutely bonkers. But the amount of able-bodied people on e-bikes is pretty wild. Minus John, who's just a tough son of a bitch, and just, I guess he likes the torture of it. John moved to Chattanooga, so shout out to my new place to stay in Chattanooga, John's house.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy for him. But then he moved up in the middle of winter and he can't ride.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's a Got Milk commercial. Remember those?
Yeah.
Where it was like the one guy's like, for the right answer, win $1 million. And he just took a bite of peanut butter.
He can't get it.
John just took the bite of peanut butter. The trails are right there, but he can't because it's too cold. They're frozen over. So anyway, I was going to try and get Toby on, but I just couldn't coordinate with my schedule and his. Really, it's my fault, not Tobe's. But Toby had hosted this event that was a veterans get together. So it was for veterans, both adaptive riders and able-bodied, and there's some other individuals I think that may have been more on the adaptive side. I believe almost everybody was a veteran, maybe not everyone. I don't totally know. It doesn't really matter for the content. Let me silence my phone. And so we've been working on this documentary for a while.
Yeah,
you shot some of the stuff, so we need to get some additional B-roll. This guy named Daryl is there. Daryl, I've talked about him before, but Daryl's insane. He's a fantastic rider. He's an adaptive rider, a fantastic rider, but Daryl also climbed Mount Kilimanjaro on an adaptive bike, on a hand bike, no e-bike. So he climbed Kilimanjaro with his sheer will and muscle. He had a team of people building like little bridges to help him get across certain pieces, but this dude did it. Yeah. Then towards the end, he kind of just like crawls up. Like, it is the most insane story.
It's crazy.
It needs to be a Hollywood movie.
Right.
It would be a great Hollywood movie. Anyway, so Daryl was there, and then John's there, who we interviewed in that documentary. And of course, those guys, like, immediately, I'm not a veteran.
Right.
I've been around a lot of vets, but I'm not a veteran. I don't share that same experience. So I was like, what you're supposed to do in documentary world is be an observer. Just film what you need to. Don't interact. But that's not how it worked. Those guys pulled us in and started talking shit. And I was like, okay, well, if you're throwing it, I got to go with it. And they Now I pull punches because like I don't feel comfortable. They don't.
Yeah,
And
right.
Stuff that they say is as heinous as we are at a trailhead.
Yeah.
It is just brutal.
It's just a little lower.
Yeah, there you go. That's what they would say.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
exactly
Yeah.
the gags. So while we're there hanging out, and again, respect all those guys for obviously their contributions to our country and our freedoms and their service and all that stuff. At the same time, and I'm going to be honest about it, so because I don't want to hide away from any of my feelings on it. If I get emotional, just deal with it because it's a punchy story. But I had bitched to Dale because I caught wind that there was also an ultra marathon happening. I was like, dude, and here I am.
Both my worlds, by the way.
Yeah, Dale's worlds for sure.
Both running and
those poor people.
I know.
We would talk to people that were on like mile 41. Like, how you doing? He's like, oh, John. He's barely breathing.
He didn't look close enough. He's got shit running down his leg because he didn't stop.
I'm sure. One guy ran the whole. He was German. He's like, oh, it's the riders on the trails. It's like, yeah, the riders up ahead.
Gay German?
No, that's how all Germans sound.
Okay, that's fair.
That's how Hitler sounded.
Yeah,
anyway, that guy was running the whole thing in those toe shoes.
Oh God, that sounds pretty German. People
Seems
do
very
the
German
stuff.
Like all I could think about is like
it's already hard enough.
Yeah,
just go run.
It's brutal,
dude.
So anyway, so we're hanging out, and so this ultra marathon's going on. And I told Dale, I was like, dude, it sucks, and this is me being pretentious.
200 people, by the way. There's like 200 runners.
It was a lot. Yeah. We never really saw them except for on the trail. Like they never interacted. They weren't at the. I thought they were going to be at the trailhead. They were not.
No, runners are not social folks.
No, but they had their own space.
Okay, cool.
So they weren't at the mountain bike trailhead.
That's good.
At all.
Segregation.
They had one tent with like some cantaloupe or whatever you people eat when you run. Bananas.
Cantaloupe.
Some kind of...
I can't imagine. I just choked on it, actually. It just got lodged in my throat just thinking about it.
I think that's a laxative. So that explains the shit running down your leg. So anyway, so we were like, okay, I told you that, and I was frustrated because, like, again, from my own worldview, it's like it's going to inhibit my creative process. I'm being an artistic bitch, essentially. I'll say that part.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything, and I was like, yeah, Toby probably just didn't want to mention it because Toby is good enough of a producer that he knows that's gonna
work around some things.
yeah, that's exactly. So anyway, I get there and we don't see him, and I was like, oh, Matt, this won't be so bad. So we go in, we start hanging out with everybody. So that's on Saturday. So the Mambo event, that was a mountain biking event, was on Sunday. We were primarily there for Veterans Day on Saturday. It was a whole weekend, but we were there for Saturday's event. So anyway, so we end up, the runners are going on. There's no interaction. We're filming these guys. We get some great shots. We get some cool riding stuff. We go out and, just cool stuff, just general mountain bike video content. About midday, this lady, or Toby had rather gotten this video of a grown man pushing an adult size, for lack of a better word, a stroller. It's obviously for someone who might be disabled in some way. And he's pushing the stroller and they're running the trail. Well, this guy had entered the marathon and had a human, like an adult human in that, and who wanted to be part of the race, but couldn't physically do it. Like, turns out doesn't have the ability to walk from cerebral palsy. So we had seen that. I was like, oh, Toby showed it to me. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. That's like a serious level of commitment. Well, then the young guy who it is, it turns out his name is Juan. So shout out Juan, who I did not give any stickers to because, I didn't want to Dale Boyd myself into weirdness. So anyway, so the caretaker, this woman who kind of like takes him to these events, comes over and asks Gavin. So shout out young Gavin, who shouldn't be listening to the show because it's definitely not for his age bracket, but goes over to Gavin, who can shred, and says, hey, Gavin, or says, hey, can you do something so that this guy Juan can see your bikes? Cause he's never really seen what all you guys are doing. Would you mind just showing him something? So Gavin goes and gets Daryl, who's like the champion of this whole thing. Yeah. Daryl's got the most experience with it. I mean, he not invented, but his story about downhill, like they were literally taking a wheelchair and just putting two big wheels on and sending in Colorado, as they would say. Like they're full, like it's crazy, the stuff.
That's nuts.
He's in Mountain Bike Magazine. We're supposed to get some shots of this somewhere. He's in Mountain Bike Magazine because they were like, what is this? What are these guys doing? It's like a group of adaptive riders,
like
pre-adaptive.
They're the clunkers.
They're the OG clunkers. Like he is that level. So they go get Daryl, and Daryl comes over and he's like, hey guys, there's a guy that just wants to see the bikes. Y'all might be able to film, but we're, I know that that's not y'all's agenda. I know, meaning he knows we're not there to like capitalize on anybody's situation.
Yeah.
but we'll talk to him and see. And if you can, we're going to do something really cool. And we're like, okay, cool. We don't really know what it is. So we get there and they meet Juan, and, you know, he's a very sweet guy. It turns out he's about 18 years old. So these dudes turn around, and instead of showing him the bikes, this is where it gets to me, they put him in it. So this kid sits there, they do the pre-flight for him, and within a matter of seconds, this little shit takes off. And he understands it. Well, he doesn't have great mobility, I believe, with his right hand. John, you can correct me. I think it was his right hand. He doesn't have great mobility with his right hand, but he has enough. So this dude is just gone, and we're chasing after him. It became a joke. Like, where's Juan? Like, oh my God, it's like a weird version of The Hangover where you were given a person to watch and you totally lost them. That's what we were laughing about. So he takes off. Well, they get back together. Now, all of these guys, all the veterans have now rallied around, both able-bodied and adaptive. John has already been giving a lot of his time cooking and doing that. And I'm not trying to overpraise you, John. Just deal with it, bro. But like, John's done a lot of stuff to help, you know, in throwing the event. But now John is like helping Juan and dealing with all that stuff. Well, they start taking him out and he starts riding. Well, when he goes off, the other guys hadn't gotten in their rigs yet. So Juan's out there by himself. So you have Toby on a bike, and I believe his name is maybe Mike. I do apologize, but he was Gavin's dad. That's who I know him. They're out with him, and Gavin's dad rides a lot with Daryl and has like training and understanding of how to help them, like especially if they tilt over and whatever. So he's been able to, he like works with adaptive riders. So Matt's a big boy. Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit faster than Matt. I don't have a bike because I'm carrying a full camera rig. I just take off. I just sprint. I'm chasing them because they're just going. So I'm chasing them. And now what I get to experience is the thing that is rare, ultra rare for us. It happens as parents. We get to see moments where our kids prosper, and you see this like little glimpse of your kid doing something really amazing. Mm-hmm. I am watching, this is what gets to me. I am watching a young guy, and he's verbal, but it's not clearest thing ever. This guy is screaming and having the greatest time of his life riding this bike on one of Bochito's trails that I know how much effort Toby put in to build. I know how much effort they did to make things. It's not on Cortez Coaster. He's on some dirt. He's on the dirt. And the kid is screaming, having the greatest time. I am just running as fast as I can to keep up because they're going so fast. And I'm not going to say, slow down and let me get this great B-roll shot. I lose my phone in the process. Luckily, I got real lucky, but it was gone. And so we're filming this kid, and he is having the greatest time of his life. And then they come back, and all the guys rally around him, and they're all cheering on him and all this stuff. And then John and Daryl, John and Daryl, like, service doesn't, our service to the country doesn't stop when we leave. Man, those guys, sorry, I'm trying to compose myself. Those guys gave up their weekend because then Juan stayed, which, again, disclaimer, anything Juan heard is not on me. Because there was a story about a dude having sex that ended up in an ER. It was like crazy stories. Once, and I don't want to steal that guy's thunder, I guess. One stayed, and they took care of him the whole weekend. These guys, again, they've sacrificed more than I ever have for our country. And then they turn around and sacrifice again for some kid who happened to roll up that just showed interest in what they were doing. And they said, wait a second, we can do this. They didn't do it for the documentary. Right. They didn't do it for any other reason than that's who they are as human beings. So the fact that those guys did it was incredible. Well, then, we're all like teared up at this point. The lady starts telling us stuff like the kids' family. It's not that they're bad people. They don't know how to deal with it. So like he had never seen, and I think you made a great joke, but he'd never seen the inside of a Walmart before because the family sometimes felt like it was tough to get him in there or whatever, for whatever reasons they made decisions. He didn't see a full rise, according to this lady. Again, this is what she's saying. He hadn't seen a sunrise or sunset. All he wants to do is be outside because he just wants to experience nature. He just wants to be in it. Then this other lady who was there, who was a support staff, her husband, I believe, is a veteran. She turns around and says, it's like for the forest bathing. And she talks about forest bathing, which we've talked about it time and time again. We just didn't have a phrase for it, which is the idea of when you're in the woods, building a trail, doing whatever. There's something about when you're in that level and that your cortisol drops, your serotonin rises, you start feeling good and healthy. Well, no shit. That's all that Juan wants. He just wants a chance at it. And he's not been able to. So they had, apparently in his past, they had given him a power chair, which is like a remote controlled wheelchair. And the ramps were too cumbersome. So the family took him away. So he's just been trapped in his house. So this kid is the epitome of who gets to be, and I get to, we're witnessing it, filming it, trying not to fucking cry while we're filming it.
Yeah.
Because it's so emotionally powerful. And I think the gut punch of all of it was Toby is sitting there and he's like, man, I almost canceled this. He's like, I almost postponed it to another weekend because of the marathon. Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Like you do that and that kid never sees that opportunity. That kid never has that chance. He never has an opportunity. And it's not just him. When we started talking about it, it's like, think about like the number of people that might be adaptive capable or someone who has that has some level of something that prohibits them from entering the trails or experiencing the same way. And if this gives them that opportunity, why would you not?
Right.
So then it becomes like, well, how do we, because if we just throw a fundraising campaign and just buy this kid a bike, that doesn't work. How's he get it there? The transportation is 90% of the problem. So then it's like, and there's nothing official on this, but then it's like, what if we as a community come around and figure out how to get a bike that can live there, that's an adaptive bike that they can figure out how to do. So now all of a sudden more people have an opportunity. It's like, oh my God, that's like a much better scenario than anything else. But dude, Juan, the entire time is like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. He's just the most pleasant kid. So then those guys let loose. They start talking shit. They welcome him fully in. And I'm not going to imitate how he says it. Again, his speech is not 100%, but they're basically like, they're saying something and Juan apologized. They talk some shit and he goes, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, Juan, we talk shit because we like you.
Yeah.
And then Juan goes, then keep talking shit. Right. Because he felt like a community. Well, it turns out that's what he told his caretaker. He's like, look, I'm finally with people that see me. God.
Yeah. It's crazy.
We're just riding bikes.
I know.
But to somebody else, that moment, the stuff, the hard work, but Toby had almost canceled it. And had he done that, that kid wouldn't have experienced. It's just, I think we take for granted. I think we all understand the world that we live in, but adaptive or not, I think we all take for granted the amount of like circumstance that lines up to create a perfect moment. And when you see one, you got to take it, whether it's on a ride or in life, it doesn't matter. But this is one of those, like, if those series of events would not have occurred, now my nose is running, those series of events would have not occurred, that kid would not experience that. And he may never ride again, but for 48 hours or 26 hours, whatever it was, he was with us. That kid, because of those veterans who dedicated their time, gave up their weekend again to make sure this kid was okay. Because of all that, that kid may go off and do 10 times better. That kid may never have that again, but for that time, he had that perfect moment. And these guys were willing to sacrifice. It's just, it's fucked up that we don't treat vets as good as we should, but it's even more fucked up that like,
we don't treat each other.
We don't even treat each other that way.
The problem is that is like the epitome of being a human.
Yeah.
Like that is what you're supposed to do by God's example.
Right.
Like that's the way you should live your life.
Right.
Yet we have too many dumb motherfuckers that are arguing over Bad Bunny and Kid Rock.
Yep.
Because that fucking matters.
Right.
The shit doesn't matter. Put your phone down. It does. No halftime show was ever worth a fuck.
Nope.
Like ever.
How about all the ones that weren't even Americans anyway?
And the funny thing was, I saw somebody that was like, Bad Bunny, his lyrics are so bad. Kendrick Lamar's lyrics are bad. And he was there last year. Who cares?
So are Eminem's and Snoop Dogg's.
Yes. Who cares? It's entertainment.
Right.
Like, to take a stance one side or the other is the problem. Stop picking sides.
Right.
Just be a fucking human.
Well,
be
it's
good.
all like,
that's how you can change the world. You want to change the world? Stop holding a picket sign and go help somebody beside you, or teach your kids to be better humans and go out in the world and do something good for somebody.
That's
like
the best example I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
right?
That's it right there.
Someone literally just taking the time. All was asked.
Right.
The ask was, can he see your adaptive rigs?
Mm-hmm.
The result was, we'll do one better.
Yeah. And there
was
like there was no
hoorah or whatever it is, but we'll do one better, and then push them out and give them an opportunity to do something 10 times more.
And there's no expectations.
No,
that's the other problem is like
they didn't do it for that.
It's within mountain biking as well, or cycling, or football, or basketball, or baseball. Right. Every sport has this bullshit thing like, well, we're a community over here, and you're not in our community, or we're a community and you're not. Motherfucker, there can be adjacent communities.
Yep.
And they can coexist. It's perfectly fine.
100%.
Stop acting like you're better than other people because you're inclusive or you're not. Just be a human.
Right.
Like, stop being rude. Like, it's just so.
But it also
I get fired up about it.
No, I'm saying, but it's also a testament for like how much I know that Toby has put into what he's done. Like I can see it, right? And you understand it, and you see the things, like even the video like has sections where we're talking about why the trails are built a certain way. All of those things, I get it. You get a grant, you do those things. But the difference is, in this very moment, it wasn't just about the adaptive guys who ended up saying, like, I overheard them. They didn't recognize my relationship with Toby being as close, but they were literally like, dude, this place is amazing. But Toby put in that much effort, and that's out of his own time, energy, and money, and money in some cases. Yeah, because he brought these very expensive king cakes, because that's what Toby does. But like he put up that to make it happen, and then it benefited someone outside of the community. That part, like here's somebody who's community adjacent only in the way that he just wanted to be outside.
Right.
That's it. He just wanted to experience nature. Yeah. And yet there it was, the opportunity was there, not for glory,
right?
Not for a pat on the back, for no other reason than like, hey, we recognize that this person,
he sees a need,
needs an opportunity.
Yeah, he sees a need,
and
has created an opportunity for guys that were already there possibly to just form their own community within like-minded people inside of the Bogue Chitto whole family.
Right.
Like it's possible. It can be done.
Right.
It's not impossible. The fact that it's so like culty, it's weird.
It is weird.
And like
those guys were the opposite of it. They had guys that were primarily roadies, like adaptive roadies, in the mix with them that were and one of the guys was just the funniest human being I've ever met. Like I probably had laughed harder than I should, but those guys were mixing in, and then so roadies are riding with mountain bike guys. Like Daryl's primarily mountain bike. Like that's his primary. I mean, he's done a lot of shit. This guy's done crazy stuff. Then later on, earlier in the day before Juan, these dudes are sending it, sending it blind on a jump onto an airbag. Like, what are you doing? This is wild. And it's not like the big step up, but those rigs weigh 70 or 80 pounds.
Pretty sure I got videos of them doing the big roller coaster wooden thing.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I did. They did it when we were there.
Yeah.
So,
and we had Juan fell over.
Yeah.
And then like, because there's adaptive riders or able-bodied riders near where they jump over. I'm in that spot of like, I need to put the camera down, so eventually you just stop doing it.
You're like on filming cops. Like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You got to
Not anymore. I didn't. I broke the rules. Me and Matt, we all did. Cause at one point we were anyway. So eventually I had to, because of his hand strength, it was just straight up rigging engineering. Like they rigged it to his hand with like, originally it was like caution tape. It was just taped to his hand and it worked. And then they started taping his hand. So then they had built a system to make it better for him. And so now we had more, but we didn't film all those rides. What's that?
That's how those bikes are created.
Oh yeah. It's all
like this needs help. Okay. We need this.
They all just invent. It's all rigged.
Yeah.
And then eventually like, we didn't film all their rides. Like after a while, it wasn't about that. It was about the moment. Right.
Right.
And so those guys just keep going off, and Juan just keeps tearing ass. Like he's just full blown going for it. And you could watch in a very short amount of time, whether it's foolish or male pride or ego, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But you could watch him go from like, he was going pretty fast in the beginning, but then pretty soon he was like, oh, these guys are pushing, then I'm pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they built it up. It was a wild thing. And that happened Saturday. So when you go to like Mardi Gras Mambo, which was a great event, and you're seeing lots of fun stuff, all of us have this like whole nother outlook on riding because we've all experienced something, so wild. Anyway, long story, but an incredible thing. If you have a chance, or if we do anything, I will post it on here and obviously we'll talk about it. But if we can do anything to potentially get maybe some kind of adaptive bike for Bogue Chitto, I think it would be cool, just because
not just for Juan, for the community,
for everybody.
Yeah, for everyone.
Anyone that can come over there. If that becomes a place where they can go, like ride, because the trails are not all of them, but built, because Daryl hits.
Yeah, Daryl goes crazy.
Daryl hits the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, he used to go downhill in a non-adaptive bike,
right?
Like in a weird wheelchair rig. I don't even know what you would call it at this point. It's technically adaptive, but it's pre-adaptive.
Yeah. Have you ever been snowboarding or skiing with adaptive people around?
No. I mean, maybe I have. I've skied a lot.
You've seen them?
Like on the guys on their knees and stuff?
Well, this one dude that used to snowboard with us, well, we snowboarded. We don't know what we called it. We just called it chair, but he had a chair with like a snowboard on the bottom of it and like had arms with little tiny skis on them. And his chair had like full suspension.
Sick.
Dude, he could rip that thing, but he would launch it Like it was.
I'm not sure how he did it, but Daryl used to do that and
Yeah, I'm
and
sure it was
hurt his
similar.
back
Oh,
doing it.
yeah, because
he
if you don't
sends
have a
big
shock,
stuff. Yeah,
it's
he sent something really big, and I don't fully know. I don't remember if it was that. He's also done like paragliding. Like he's done.
Yeah.
This dude is full send.
He's like, well, whatever, let's go.
Yeah. He doesn't. He's made plenty of jokes about it. Those are his.
Yeah, right.
Not my stolen valor.
Yeah. There's things that we can joke about, and there's things we can't.
Yeah, that's theirs to do. But it was an incredible event, and kudos again to Toby for all the hard work of putting it on. Like,
this is a testament to, and Jody and I have had this conversation. Chase and I have had this conversation. Never cancel an event. Like if you've planned it, if you've done it, don't just go through with it, because weather doesn't change people's. The real people are going to show up no matter what. It's going to be fun. You don't want to, if you cancel it, any future event that you plan has already got an asterisk next to it.
Yep.
Because they might cancel it, I can't commit to it.
Right.
And like that's been my mantra with group rides around here is like, dude, the group ride's on until we sit down on our bikes and decide it's not. Like I'm showing up. You were already planning on showing up. Just show up.
Yep.
So like that's a testament to Toby for not canceling it based upon outside influence things or sign-ups or whatever it is. Sure. And so like you just got to go with it. Like Jank Fest, we've never canceled Jank Fest, and the stories always end up better.
No, I get it. I mean, and luckily for us, it wasn't definitely not a weather issue. It was like
right. I mean, I get it. Sometimes those things they cost a lot of money to put on, and if you have a lot of money invested, you're not getting money back.
Well, I mean, they canceled, ASA one hardline 10. That's a little,
they were already there, but
that's near death.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good situation.
I did share a video if anybody wants to check it out. Sleeper Collective made a video from there. Sleeper Collective is the best, dude.
Yeah.
They're doing what we wish we were doing.
Yeah. Like, I'll have to peeps it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But yeah, if you have a chance to go back over, I did ride. I don't know if it's public or not, but I'm going to say it. You need to go ride. If you go back over there and you haven't ridden it, Cortez is fun. And there's more of it that's got the chip seal. Again, it's just a fun trail. But there's also some other new stuff. There's some new like crazy trail that runs along like a valley there. I think it's called Rougarou. It is rad. It's a good ride. It's like it feels old school.
Yeah.
Like it feels like Tennessee to me. I kept telling Toby, I was like, dude, this is Tennessee. We didn't have Matt with us. So Toby was like full out. And then I was the Matt. Matt, it's not fair. He's just a new rider. I'm not talking shit about anything more than his new riding. But like watching that stuff or riding that stuff was like, oh, this is like the new good shit. Like it was fresh trail, never ridden it.
Well, you know that feeling. It's that heroin.
Oops, hit the wrong button. Yeah, it's like
that heroin.
It's off camber.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, was it next to like there's like a little wooden lookout that you could walk out on?
Maybe.
I rode down that. There's no trail there. That somebody like Matt or Steve, I think Steve was like, dude, ride down that. I'm like, okay, straight down. On my brakes, like sliding back and forth.
Oh my God.
It's pretty wild.
I
had to walk back up, which was really shitty.
Well, we're used to that. Walk the rebellion style.
But it was like straight up.
Yeah. We didn't fit. We rode 3/4. The last quarter we didn't. And so maybe that's where it was.
Yeah.
Because the Black Hawk started flying over and we were trying to get back to get a shot. But there was like literally, dude, I've seen some cool but when the Black Hawk is like literally on its side, just kind of like sweet. It was rad. It was fun.
Yeah. While we're finishing that up, if anybody wants to join Toby in that group for any of those, the dirt ops is what it's called, correct?
Yep.
Get a hold of Toby or follow Bug Chitto. If you're a veteran from anywhere, they have stuff once a month, I think.
Yep.
Pretty regularly. Go ride with them. You don't have to be adaptive. You just have to be a veteran.
Yeah. And I think they might even allow you, like, there might be some level of support, like if you want to help.
Not a veteran. If you're not an asshole.
If you're not well, I mean, those guys are, but they've
different kind of asshole.
Yeah, they've earned their titles.
If you're not a dick, you can be an asshole, not a dick.
Yeah,
big difference.
They've earned their titles on that side of it. So that's my big event. You said you had something to say.
Big. Yeah, you want to follow that up? What do you got?
You want to go ahead? I tried to give you the out.
Well, like mine was like super cheesy, and actually I thought about it because of Matt. Ironically, that because he's beginning into mountain biking.
Yeah,
he's very energetic about it. He loves it, like we all did. But what's something that like when you first started, you wish you knew now? Like when you first started mountain biking, like he's fresh. Like when you were at his level and you just began, like what's something that you know now that you wish you knew then?
Now you might as well just buy an e-bike.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
That's
there's
right.
no reason to waste any money anywhere else.
That's
Like,
true.
I hate to say it, but like so many people, like even the people around you, the problem is going to be based on numbers alone. If they're all on e-bikes pretty soon and you're the only analog guy, not in the case of like John, because he was support on that side, but like if you're the only analog rider, eventually they're not going to ride with you as much, not because they don't like you, but because it's the same challenge we've talked about. It's hard to ride with a new rider. Yeah. Because you have to change your, like when I go ride with Matt, I have to change my mindset to be like, I'm riding with Matt. Like I'm here to coach Matt and encourage Matt. I'm not here to shred.
Right. Right.
And so I have to tone it back. I also can't ride what I want to ride, or I can't.
I guess it goes into like, why did you start riding? Because if you started riding for fitness, then maybe
you can still get off an e-bike.
I know you can, but you probably, I mean, handling an e-bike's different too. They're heavy. Yeah.
Which also means though it's centered. At least on mine, I always felt like that I had that Trek, and it was always like, for me, I always felt like I was centered.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad advice. Like, don't waste your money on an entry-level bike. Just go for it.
Just get an e-bike. I think it would hold better value on a resale market anyway.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You know, it's hard to sell a hardtail.
No, for facts. Like you're not, like if you paid $1,100 for it, you're getting $400 for it. Maybe.
Yeah. It's hard.
Even
if
you upgrade it.
It's hard to turn and burn.
Yeah. Because everybody got one. That was like that's like the first bike you everyone got.
Because you're like, I don't know if I want to really get into it or not. It's like, yeah, just go ahead and get an e-bike because then you'll want to be into it.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. But I don't think you need to spend $3, $5, $7, $8 on a high-end bike, even a high-end e-bike. I think you can nowadays, like there's enough, and I don't mean like electric. I mean like
you can get one for like $2,500, probably pretty baseline.
3,000, which is enough. Yeah. And even if you sell it, you might lose $500. Just call that rent.
Yeah, right.
You rented a bike for 6 months. I don't know. What would you do?
There's like a few things. I think one of them is that you being fast doesn't build bike credibility. Like it doesn't make you cooler. I'm a competitive person anyway. So like I thought, dude, if I'm the fastest person, then that makes me the best. And that's not true. I mean, most fast people, you get to a certain point where people that are fast are like, dude, I get beat all the time. Like I'm not that fast. I'd rather be in the back with people. And then you got some people that don't. They just want to go do their own thing. They're called road bikers.
I think the other one would be...
That's my 90s reference of the day.
You're good. I think the other one would... and this is going to sound like a plug, but I do think once you get a bike of any kind, I think the very next thing you should do is get coaching. Specifically from... I'm just kidding.
All of our
But
friends.
I do believe that it would make a difference because if you can learn the foundations then...
Especially without bad habits.
That's it. Because it prevents that scenario. Like my bad habit of like my jumping of just squashing everything. Like I just love to... It's not that the bike doesn't come up. I just push it straight down. I don't let it come up. I'm like, that's enough. Down. Down, boy. Like a dog. If you learn those skills of just all your bike handling early, then those bad habits don't form. So if I was saying like the cheapest one, coaching.
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 Yeah, coaching's probably, honestly, that's the best investment you're going to make with a new bike.
And we got lots of sponsors that do that, whether it's Toby or if it's Jody and Mish. Like we've got people that can do that.
Anywhere, any region,
there's somebody that can help you with that.
Yeah, I think, going fast is a big one. Like, yes, going fast is necessary to ride with groups. Like, you at least have to be the fastest as the last person, or as fast as the slowest person. But the other thing is, like, I wish that I knew that there's different styles of riding. Like, you think mountain biking is what it is, and it's like, no, I went through the phase of like XC, hard, like pedal 20 plus miles every time I rode. Like John Mackey and I used to have a thing like, dude, we're not even going to ride unless we ride 15 miles. Like that was that was it, baseline. We do that like 4 times a week.
Right.
And now if I ride 15 miles, I'm like posting something about it. Like that's a milestone. But it's just a different style. Like I ride really hard now for 6 miles.
Right.
You know, like then I was just pedaling for 15 to 25 or 30. So it's like, I wish that I knew that there was different styles and different ways to ride. Like I finally found the way I like to ride, but I like to mix it back up every once in a while, and mixing them both up is even better. For us, like, we could go to Oak Mountain and ride 15 or 20 miles and ride hard. We don't have that ability to do both here. Like if I was to ride 15 miles at the Reb hard, I'd be beat. I've
done some 10s out there, and you do a 10, 12 mile, not counting like the training stuff you've done, but like you do a legitimate 10, you're out there for a couple hours. I'm gassed when I get home, and then I look at my caloric burn, and it's like, whoa, lightning. It's like way up there.
Yeah.
I can drink a non-diet soda.
Yeah. I think that also it's like my problem is this is a personal thing of mine, is like I don't need to be involved in all of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that sometimes new people get involved and they think that they've got to be in every single group and be friends with everybody. And it doesn't always work like that. Like right off the bat, like we've earned our stripes to get to where we are. Like you almost have to earn your way to get to a certain spot. And it's like, you know, people always ask me still like, hey, we want to ride at the Reb. How can we ride at the Reb? Like, can we come ride there? And it's like, at this point, we've outgrown even local people that ride, because every trail, when we were there talking about it, we're like, holy crap, we don't have any trails that are just easy anymore. Like every trail has something on it that can really F you up.
Yeah.
And it's like, take it easy. Like, don't think that you're going to be really good really fast, but you got to work on it without other people around. Like you've got to go ride on your own. You've got to learn how to do it on your own, because even if you ride in a group, you're alone. Like it's you and the bike. There's
the to your point there, the amount of additional training that I put in order to get better at riding was like it was like more walking at the gym. It was slowly building up endurance. It was weightlifting. It was all these different things that so my core was strong. All that stuff went into it. So that, because I wanted to be a better rider, it wasn't just like I'm going to ride my bike once a week and then suddenly it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
Not if you
get an e-bike.
Not if you want to chase it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like if you want to chase it. Yeah. Even on an e-bike, it's still, you still have to do, I mean, hell, on an e-bike, you're lifting a lot more.
Right.
And so I think that's a good point. And I think there's part of it is like, you got to be willing to put in the time if you want to go that far. If not, it's cool. You can be super cash. There's nothing wrong with being the casual rider. That's 100% A-okay. But you can't get mad at yourself or others if inadvertently I decide to ride one day and I'm not riding for you. Today is my ride. This is for me. I need to pedal to get something out of my brain. I need to jump to get something. I need to go fast for me. You can't get mad at that person for doing it. You can't get mad at yourself.
Right.
All you can do is encourage yourself. Like, I'll do better.
No, I still spend a ridiculous amount of time like training just to be good at group rides. Like not to be like fast at group rides, but I hate to go to a group ride and it not be fun.
Yep.
And it wouldn't be fun if I was sucking air the whole time or couldn't keep riding when everybody wanted to keep riding or whatever it is. I feel like that's just a personal responsibility. I ride bikes for fitness and fun. So,
they go hand in hand sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of other things I wish I knew, but I wish I knew that I didn't need to put a bunch of stickers on my helmet. Like I thought when I was growing up, the like helmet stickers was like credibility building. Oh, he knows what that is. He knows what this is. And
it is funny though, when I was at Bochito, I had a lot of people, shout out to everybody that came and said hello. Thank you. I was working, but thank you. I'm not talking shit. I'm not throwing shade. It was grateful. I met a lot of really cool folks. And I did see a kid, he was young, but he had the Reb Pornhub sticker on his helmet. And I was like,
he met Dale. Nice.
I was like, clearly Dale Boyd has done some work. I don't know who this kid is, but
was he good? He had to be.
I didn't really. Yeah, he was in the jump line. Yeah. The big, not Zephyr or Mega Zeph, but the
big drop stuff.
The big drop thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I only give those out to kids that were good. We don't want kids that suck wearing Pornhub stickers.
No. God bless it.
God, how terrible we are.
Oh, who knows? We have events. Is there any other events coming up we need to touch on?
If you're already pre-planning for May, we got the Skyway Epic Bull Gap AIDS Station. Yep. We'll be manning that one.
Okay.
Prepare for that. That's going to be a ton of fun. I'll probably go up on Friday and ride the trail because it's the best. That trail's, dude, you would love that trail. There's no jumps on this trail. The climbs aren't stupid hard. They are climbs, but they're not like grueling forever.
Yeah.
And the downhills are super fun. It's probably one of my favorite, like, let's go pedal and ride trails in Alabama that I've ridden.
Yeah.
And plus the atmosphere's rad. Like, I just love being up there. So yeah, we'll probably Bull Gap AIDS Station. Yes.
Oops.
You've heard it correct.
Yeah.
It's not HIV. It's full blown AIDS.
Full blown.
And then what else do we got? We got some, I feel like there's more. Every time I'm like, oh God, we got to do this. Jody is doing a brake tuning class at Jared's place. in March, 14th and 15th. So
nice.
That's actually pretty sweet. If you like to ride at Jared's place and you want to get your suspension. So what he's going to do is I don't want to hold him to any time frames, but I think it's like an hour or so. You get with him, talks about a little bit base about suspension, not as deep as what we went through for his suspension class, but then he goes with you and you ride, and then you tune your stuff on a certain section at Jared's place. That's pretty sweet.
That's really sweet.
He has a very limited amount of people that can do it, so get signed up if you want to do that.
That's cool.
Contact BTR or Jody for that. I don't know who else. Well, I don't know what else we got going on.
Yeah, I don't know either.
There's stuff. I feel like there's stuff. I just can't think of it. Bump and grind coming up.
Yeah.
Limitless Bike Festival for all ladies.
Yep.
September.
Yeah.
Bump and grind's in June.
Yep.
So May is Skyway. June is Bump and Grind. September is the Limitless Ladies Bike Festival.
Sweet.
That's Oak Mountain, Smoke Mountain. Chase was saying that they might be sold out before June.
Right on.
Pretty sweet.
That's really good.
Yeah. So if you're a lady and you're looking for some action, on
go
a bicycle
with the duck.
Yeah, on a bicycle.
I do think it now that I've seen, like having the similar sort of vibe, I do think you can, like you said, community is for everybody. But I do think, there, and Amber brought this up before, but like there is an advantage of like having a group of people that at least understand your way of life.
Absolutely.
I think that is beneficial. That's why we have the white privilege ride.
I was wondering, I was like, man, I'm thinking of all these groups you made the veterans and the adaptive folks, their community, the ladies. We got some other ones, and then what are we? Oh, yeah.
The constant callback.
Actually, the most handicapped out of all those groups is our group. Pretty sure.
Because we're dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Again, shout out to all the guys. I don't know how many I'm listening to this. I know John does from time to time. But again, thank you guys for allowing me and Matt to be part of your little group for a little bit, your community for a little bit. Thank you for what you did for Juan. I think that's one of the most tremendous things I've ever experienced in my life. Thank you for your service to the country. Thank you for all that. But thanks for just being fun and having a good time and goofing off and letting us be part of the dialogue. And then, obviously shout out to Tobes. He gets a lot of love and praise on this show because he does a lot of work. He deserves every bit of it. But I do appreciate how much effort he puts in. Same to Jody and Mish, because I know how much effort they put in. I did hear somebody say, and Chase. Chase puts in a ton of work too.
Yeah.
I did hear somebody talking about a Jody and suspension, and I straight up across the way eavesdropped in. I was like, yeah, Jody a build, tune, ride. And they're like, no. I was like, there's another Jody that does. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, shout out to Will Keener because he shipped his suspension up to Jody, had it fixed. That's pretty sweet. So
said the turnaround was fast.
Yeah, there's a connection. Pretty awesome.
Guaranteed 3-day delivery.
There you go, Jody.
Sorry, buddy.
Enjoy that one.
That's when I get my FU text message from Jody once a year.
3 days.
I'm just kidding. You got prices and participation may vary.
Yeah, check with your local retailer for more information.
All right. I guess that's good.
I did want to say thank you for everybody buying shirts. We sold 40 of them. I don't know if I mentioned on the last episode.
The Cruda shirts.
Everybody should have them now. And if you do not have yours, it's because you're a Red member and you haven't come to ride. You have to come ride.
What a loser.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not delivering the local ones.
Yeah.
You got to come to the Red and get it.
Booyah.
If you don't show up, we'll just use it as a mat on the, we need more rug coverage.
That would be horrifically funny.
Just put a bunch of the shirts down.
Yeah, boy.
That'd be great.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Ride Rebellion podcast. Just remember what former employee of Lex Wexler says.
Oh my God, he is. Dang it. He paid my bills for a little while.
That whole sentence is awful.
God.
On every front. Okay, I'll do it again. You want me to do a take two?
Yeah, take two.
Beep, beep. Beep. That's going to do it for this episode of the Ride Rebellion podcast. Just remember what Lex Wexner's best friend says. I'm just kidding. I'm stopping. All right, last one. That's going to do it for this last Ride Rebellion podcast. Just remember what Dale Boyd says.
Hey, you never know where you're going to find a sweet, sweet story.